Hello and welcome all to Tales from the Time Traveler's Tavern. I will be your guide and navigator, Mr.E, taking you on this informative journey. Informative of what? We still don't know. But that's why I have had the good fortune to bring along with me the colorful commentary of our internet guru, my good friend Toast.
Butter is optional.
There you go. And to the other side, we have Private Snafu.
Good day, Mr.E. Good day, Toast.
Alright, now we're going to go down a traveling line of science fiction or science fiction and all that kind of good stuff.
Interviews?
Yeah, you know the weird one is he sounded like an idiot when he was in office, but now he seems poignant and articulate. What the hell happened?
Less stress.
I think that's some of it. I think some of it also is fewer people twisting what he says, but I think most of it's the stress. What I thought was interesting was I was watching a bit where someone had actually interviewed him and asked him the question. They're like, so, you know, you've seen some of the parodies being done, people doing impersonations. Like, well, when you were president, I can't remember who was like, so-and-so did impersonations of you. He's like, what did you think of them? And he's just like, I've seen better. He's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, oh, he lists some guy. He's like, this guy does an amazing impersonation of me. And he's like, I have no idea who that is. He's like, you should look him up. The guy's like, oh, okay, the interview. He's like, but what do you think about people who do impersonations of public figures? And his response was, it's gonna happen.
Yep.
He's like, it's gonna happen. You may as well just smile at it and just move on. He's like, because no matter what you do, there's going to be someone who's going to, they're going to impersonate you. They're going to basically make fun of you. He's like,
especially since it's a protected First Amendment right.
Well, that and
parody.
That it kind of is one of those ones of. I was telling someone else at work where even when you go back to Caesar, he always had, whenever you do big parades, there's always a slave in the chariot reminding him you are mortal, to basically say you're not all that spectacular, you're just a person. So if you have people doing impersonations, it really is someone coming up to the president and just going, hey, you're a person. You're not the most powerful person out there. It's like, we can make fun of you. That sort of thing. And that's, like I said, that's just kind of interesting because we've seen all these different things about a lot of the stupid stuff that Bush was doing, right. And not like policy wise, but there was one where he gets done with a speech, takes his notes, and he walks away from the podium, goes to the door. Door is locked.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
He tries the other door. It's also locked. So what does he do? Basically rattles a little bit, turns to the camera, and just smiles like, I screwed up. And turns around and walks the other way. But that's just it, it wasn't the, oh my god, this is a huge problem. It's the moment of, people are gonna make fun of this one. Yeah. Just live with it.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, screwing up on the operation of a door, or in fact which door you were supposed to go out of, is not nearly as bad as his father, who vomited all over Japanese delegates.
Then there's also, being choked on a pretzel.
I forgot about that one.
Getting stuck in your own bathtub.
Taft got stuck in his own bathtub?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, I mean...
I never heard about that one.
Really? That was something to us in high school.
Oh. If I did hear about it, I forgot it.
Yeah, but, I mean, like I said, it's stuff like that where, I mean, as a public figure, you have to be ready for ridicule. Even when it comes to, like, celebrities. And then you have other celebrities, I mean, like when George Clooney did South Park.
I didn't see it.
Oh, well, see, there's a reason why. Because Clooney from what I heard, he'd asked to be on South Park.
Uh-huh.
Didn't care in what capacity. He's like, I just want to do a voice.
Uh-huh.
So he voiced a dog.
Okay.
His line was, "Arf!"
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
And they billed it as, George Clooney's in this episode. That's it. Just, "Arf!" And it's like right at the end. That's
right.
it. And basically people are like, well, what do you think? He's like, well, I got to do something I wanted. But they made fun of you for it. He's like,
so?
They're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what, particularly in a regard to comedy, that's kind of what it is, what is funny is subjective, yes, but the thing is to find the commonality, usually you have to find a commonplace thing to talk about. So there will be celebrities or politicians or some such other thing, the economy. People talk about food, they talk about sex, they talk about their home lives, their children, all these things that other people can identify with. And they're all things that chances are they're going to be making fun of.
I'd seen a meme online, but really it was
Was it aliens?
I can't remember what band they were talking about, but there was a band where someone had asked one of the members, like, well, with the way things are going on, with all the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, what are your thoughts? And the guy goes, 6 drugs, and like everyone else starts laughing. He's like, what? It's like, do I have to rephrase it? And one of his bandmates goes, no,
leave it alone.
He's like, you phrased it proper for yourself, because he had heard 6 drugs and rock and roll, and he's just like, there are more than 6.
There are far more than 6, and there are probably more than 6 ways to do each of them.
But that was just it, though. I mean, it's the same sort of thing where it's that's the kind of guy where that's still out there where he made this mistake. You can try and deny it, or he's just like, I did that. It was a dumb thing. It happened. And that's why it comes up every now and again.
Yeah.
Because it's hey, remember when he did that stupid thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you move on. As opposed to, remember that stupid thing you don't want anyone to remember? We're going to keep reminding everyone about that stupid thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think that humor sometimes gets turned. Because humor is meant to be funny. It's supposed to be something to laugh at. Something ironic that brings laughter, in my opinion. And I mean, a lot of times it's something that is misused, like the word love. And comes across hurtful and demeaning. I mean...
Or
maybe I just don't have a sense of humor.
What you're referring to is humor being used as a form of spite.
As a weapon versus...
Right. And the thing about it is that may not necessarily be the intent, but that all too often that's how people take it.
I say another question is, are you also talking stuff like a celebrity roast?
No. Celebrity roast, the celebrity went in knowing that this was going to happen.
But you do know that a couple of those roasts people have actually gotten sued over.
Really?
Because they didn't know that it was going to be that bad. Even though people are like, you've seen this stuff before, and you say you didn't know it would be that bad.
Yeah.
Although, for what it's worth, celebrity roasts that I will not watch, period, simply because of some of the things that I saw and or heard about. A good example would be the one for our current president.
I've seen...
he had a roast?
He's had a roast, yeah.
He had a Comedy Central roast.
And it was terrible.
Yeah. See, and that's just it. There are the old Friars Club roasts, which started off as basically a group of people getting together to basically make fun of someone as a form of honor.
Okay.
They moved to celebrity roasts because it was interesting, and basically, it was a lot of people making fun of almost everyone else there besides the person they're supposed to be making fun of.
Well, no. In some cases, they were still making fun of the person.
Yeah, but
involved.
I mean, there's a lot of them that
I've seen. Where they just leap around. I know.
Where they'll do like one joke on the guest and like a joke on everybody else, and then their time is up.
Right.
But then you get to certain ones where you start watching their stuff, and it's no longer a roast. It's literally just them, making very pointed barbs at the person,
being demeaning.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. And
that's not humor anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not meant as humor.
But they'll try to pull it off as humor if you get offended.
They try to mask it as humor. That's the difference.
Well, that's because you're not really allowed to be offended at the humor. But like I said, if you're masking it as humor, it's just a joke.
Right. Can't you take a joke?
It was meant in a humorous fashion. But you get people who use that as the way of making it so that way they can say hurtful things if people don't like it. It's I meant it as a joke.
Yeah. I know a couple of people like that.
Falling back on the adage of, I was only kidding.
Yep.
And they'll even say it kind of like that. All right, so any other subject matters anyone wanted to bring up that we could look up and discuss?
All I can think of now is discus.
Discus? Like frolf?
Ian.
I was thinking more like the Olympic discus, but that's because you said, is there anything else we can discuss?
Did I misspeak?
No.
So you're confusing me intentionally just for the point of making fun of me.
Intentionally, no, but am I? Yes. Because I can.
Ah, yes.
That's a can, but I'm not going to can right now.
You'd have to
You
put
can
pants on
can
first.
with me.
Toast, sometimes you seem darker than you should be.
So,
He was
I
in the
gotta adjust
toaster.
the setting on that.
He was in the toaster for too long.
a couple years ago, at college, and I had been working in a place doing welding. It comes into play. A guy makes some comment about, he's like, well, because Hispanics do this or this. He looks at me and he goes, no offense to you. I look at the guy and go, why would I be offended? He said, well, you're Hispanic, aren't you? I look at him and I go, no.
Not even remotely close.
And he just looks and he goes, oh, well, I just assumed. I'm like, why? And when I held my hand up, I noticed that my hand was tan. And that's when I realized, I'm like, oh. So I moved my hat back. And I go, I weld. Because I had I refer to it as a welder's tan, but
Right.
it's a flash burn, technically,
Right.
where everything that wasn't covered by clothing was tan.
Okay.
So, to him, I looked vaguely Hispanic. But if I moved my hat back, if I got any whiter, I would be a ghost.
Mildly translucent.
That's an entirely different person.
Transparent?
Well, if you have one of those, you really should just accept them for who they are.
What?
Doesn't matter who. He likes heels. He likes heels.
I'm not following.
You haven't seen enough South Park.
He
Go
just,
back to
he
South
just made a
Park.
trans joke.
Oh.
And nothing
That
like
you're,
your
that you're
orchestra.
still not putting together.
No.
It's funny because there's a very obvious blank expression on your face.
You ever heard of Kim Kardashian?
Yeah.
Okay, she is a woman. We're so there. Her mother is now.
He's now her transparent.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Can't make up her mind about what she is.
She is who she has always been. And if you look at her personal history,
I thought she went back though. Wasn't there talks of her going
I don't know.
back to
Not that
being a
I-
him? That's what I had heard.
not. It's pretty. I mean, unless you're in a fluid category, that's a pretty.
Water.
There's a. She's made some serious alterations to her body. Not saying that nothing can be fixed, but
Right. I'm saying as far as that goes with the wonders of technology, most things are transient now.
my
Could
son
you say
is-
that
my-
situation
yeah,
is snafu?
happens.
I was just kind of I was thinking that
More
moment.
of a foobar, I think.
Ooh.
I was
No,
just kinda
he
thinking
was
that
making a play on his misnomer. Because we call him Private Snafu.
Yeah. I think about that.
Don't we, Toad?
Ribbit.
And
It's
on
not
that
easy
note,
being green.
it's not easy being cheesy.
Just ask our president.
And our jokes.
And our jokes. Yeah.
Hey, they
Fair
make me
enough.
laugh. I have no complaints.
Yeah, but I hate to tell you this, ma'am. You are indeed an easy laugh.
Yeah. So
I'm
you
just saying.
you gotta be happy for the small miracles in life.
As they say, simple mind, simple pleasure.
Exactly. Simple pleasures. You gotta be able to grab your happiness when you can.
Giggity?
They already had that tape come out.
Yeah.
It was a parody of Happy Feet.
Oh, by the way, going back to dildos, did you know that the vibrator was originally invented in the 14th century?
No.
Yeah. It was invented as a means of treating hysteria.
Yes, because men felt it was necessary to force women to orgasm because it put them in a better state of mind.
Actually, eventually it got to the point where they would go to the doctor about once a month to get treated for hysteria.
Because somehow we were not allowed to touch our own selves and be able to create that same orgasmic motion somehow because we weren't educated enough.
Yeah. There's that,
Yeah.
and then there's the fact that, also stemming from that, do you want to know what other device we got out of something similar?
Do I? No. Will I? Probably.
Yes. The chainsaw.
Really?
The chainsaw was originally invented in Scotland, I believe. I might be wrong. As a device to be used similar to a scalpel for the purposes of shaving the pubic bone to make the birth canal wider.
They're masochists over there.
Eventually.
Could you imagine? Hold still! Vroom!
No. It was before the advent of the combustion engine, internal combustion engine.
Oh.
So it was a manual change that was, that they would use back and forth. Kind of like flesh
survive
floss.
this? How did you even survive this? Oh my goodness, this.
That's just how many centuries was dental work done with whiskey or gin, just basic alcohol. That moment of we're gonna pull a bone out of your head. Here, drink this first.
Yep. Oh, but yeah, okay. I mean,
hell, even Doc Holliday was a dentist for the Army before he was a gunslinger and got tuberculosis.
I was thinking, and how many Civil War patients was it the here bite down here's a drink, bite on this, we're taking that arm.
Yep. It got worse once we got into World War I, where they started chloroforming people to treat them for shrapnel and
what does this smell like?
Yeah. Excuse me. Does this rag smell like chloroform or ether to you?
No, that's a different one, but I still gotta get someone in on that.
Huh?
You missed it.
Don't worry, they won't find the body.
So for the one video I wanted to do,
We're currently in process of hiding the other bodies and the book.
so for the video I want to do,
Man, just let go.
that's what she said.
You're squeezing too tightly.
The one video I want to do.
Please,
that's
sir,
actually
may I have another.
That's actually part of it, where it's that's the lead-in to the escape room video.
Okay.
Is pardon me, miss. Tell me, does this smell like chloroform? Does this smell like chloroform? Oh, sorry. Yeah, does this smell like ether?
Yeah.
Pass up. Shouldn't. I use chloroform. Something like that. That's how I want to start it.
Excuse me. Does this smell like ether to you?
That's right up there with pardon me while I distract you for a moment.
Yeah. All right.
Good luck editing this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare.
You probably have like 3 little things laying in here if you really think about it.
All right. Well, on that note of fact, validation, and verification, any other shuns we should add to that? Parting words, Snafu?
I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
Okay. And toast.
I can't believe it's not butter.
All right then. Once again, this has been your navigator and guide, Mr.E. Thank you for joining Tales from the Time Traveler's Tavern. So that's it.
You've got